It's just another expiration Friday. Whoa, whoa. Watching shares called away. Yeah, yeah. Gonna explain that. Oh, in just a moment. Checking in here Friday. It is December 22nd, 3 days until Christmas. Yes, indeed. So I wanted to touch base before this expiration Friday ends. It is 2:11 p.m. on the Swatch Watch here in the farm fields of Valparaiso, Indiana. And we did just cover another all-timer here today, all-time high in the portfolio. Had a lot of action going on today. We'll get to that in just a moment, but I wanted to go through. I'm going to allow these shares to be called away, a lot of them today. So here is Alcoa. Alcoa can't wait. Well, what are you going to let them go for? This says you're down $800. Well, I am on the call position. So if we look currently, Alcoa trading at $33.80, and we've got a 32.50 call on the table. Again, that is the downside to trading covered calls on positions you think are going up. And we indeed felt Alcoa was a good trade as far as our purchase when we made it. Because if we go to the shares, we are in at 25.39. We got 1,000 shares there. So we are making gonna make a tidy little profit from the share appreciation along with the premium on the calls. And then our theory on Alcoa is when we got in at 25.39, it's going, I don't know, 40 or 50, looking for a double on it. So why let them go now? Because I think they're going to come back to us. I'd have to fight these calls off, 32.50, roll them out and up, probably out a long way to cover. So I thought, let me just look at the crystal ball. And the crystal ball says that before Alcoa goes to 40 or 50, it is going to come back to us probably around 30, may even dip into the 29s. So we're going to try to be ready, willing, and able to take those back at that time. So at this moment, we're going to let those shares be called away, along with Bank of America, along with, I don't know, we'll see. Is this going to be called away today? Canadian Solar, knocking on. Oh, back up. It was down to like just 25 and change, and now it's back up to 25.29. So right there, the $25 calls will be called away. That'll be a little bit of a share appreciation on us, and then a decent amount of premium on the put and call side of Canadian Solar. I think the big picture for Canadian Solar is pretty big, probably a double in there at the price that it's at. But how long before that happens, I don't know. The Fed says higher for longer. Do we believe them? I don't know. The market's believing them less and less. Even the percentages of probability for a 25 basis point reduction in the Fed rate is early as March. So we'll keep an eye on that. But as of now, we're going to try to let those Canadian Solars go away. Our CVX 152.50 calls are sitting pretty at 98.75% profit. And Chevron currently trading at 151.05. So we'll maintain our ownership of those 1,000 shares. I'm letting Deere go where the deer and the antelope play. Ran all the numbers, looked at all the premium, looked at the dividend, and said, bye, bye, bye. So we're going to risk off. We're going to risk off on Deere at 395. Let those shares go. Johnson & Johnson at 99.26% profit on the 157.50 calls. Coca-Cola, 97.56 profit on that. We did roll the dice and take our chances because we sold these, I think, on Monday and it was Coke was trading at 59.04. We sold the $59 calls, and we collected how much? We collected $410. So we got that going for us. We could close those right now if we wanted for 1 penny, but I really don't see. There's almost no chance. Don't say that. There's very little probability that Coke is going to $59 and beyond before the day ends today. So that's our theory there. If it does, it does. They can take my shares at $59. And what do we see here? What? Siri started to tell me about Starbucks. It's trying to tell me again, probably because I just used her name. Back to where we were. And so Deere going away, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, Unity letting those go at $31. UPS, yep, I know. Letting those go at 150, even though they're trading at probably close to 160. Seems odd, but we're going to do it anyways. It's going to be a little bit of a profit on a UPS, and we just collected a nice dividend. I've had some nice premiums, and it's currently traded at 158.26. But my long-term outlook is, long-term meaning as early as 6 months. I don't really like UPS, even though I love the company. What I do not like at all is that new contract they have with the union. It is going to be making earnings butt stink. So we're going to let UPS go at the 150 there. And then VCF, we're going to let that go at $17. ExxonMobil calls sitting pretty at 96.15% profit at the 105. And ExxonMobil currently trading at, drum roll please, 102.11. So I might look to roll Chevron and ExxonMobil before the day ends. Long on oil, still long, looking good. Short term, waiting for another entry point. Thinking even to sell, possibly selling some puts on the USO today. Let me look at this chart. I wouldn't do it at this very second, but we might look to sell some USO puts for 1 week before the end of the trading day today. Wanted to show you something funny that went on. TNA 3 times bull on the small cap, and we did a funny little thing. We just missed it because the thesis was right. Let me show you here on this board. Before we go through them all, here is the TNA. Bought these. I should have wrote the time down on my little chart here. I could look. I'm sure I can look into the Robinhood, but I bought 1,000 shares at $39.97, and I should have just waited a little bit longer. Right? Where were we? We were like right around there, so it would have been around 1:20 p.m. And I'm like, I think we got something here. And then it just kept going downtown to Chinatown. So much so that I was down like over $600 within just 10 minutes on that trade. Then I'm like, the big picture for today still looks good. And then I watched it. I chased it back up and sold it for a $30 profit. If we would have timed it just a little better, we could have made $500, $600, $700, but we didn't. But I was very happy to get out with a $30 profit. We were busy again today. We did take some more risk off. We sold GDX, which is a gold miner, at $31.93 a share, and we collected $44,702 against our $42,323 that we had into it for a profit of $23.79. GLD, another gold ETF, we were in on that at 187.97, and then we sold at 190.84 for a profit of 574. Silver, even though it was down a bit, I thought it was going to go down a little bit more, and it did just a little bit. Where's silver at? Meaning SLV, the SLV ETF, currently at 22.11. And we sold our 1,000 shares at 22.27, but we had entered at 21.74. So we did book a profit of 530 there. Then we were like, yeah, Natty. We had some decent entries on Natty, natural gas UNG ETF. We had an average entry of $4.89, and we sold at 504. Booked a profit of 450. EEM, that was the emerging markets. We got in a little bit early, but then we did wait till we did catch a little bit of a profit. We got in at 39.26. It could have been in the 38s. But we got out before the weekend, just again to take a little risk off, to kind of catch our breath. Will we be rolling Santa Claus Tuesday through Friday next week? Very possible, but booking profits also can't make you broke either. So we did get out at 39.41 for a just, it is still a profit of $150. AR and Taro Resources, we had a nice entry point there. I think Antero is going to 30, 35, but it'll come back to us before it does that. We got in at 21.96, and then we sold at 22.99 today and booked a profit of $1,030. Then we talked about the TNA, which is the 3 times bull on the small cap Uncle Russ. So that is what's going on today. So if you add these up, how does today look? $5,143. Still got to figure out how I'm doing these or how I'm going to book and keep track specifically of the swing trades that we can add that fourth category: swing trades, premium, interest, and dividends. So that'll be our fourth category of cash flow, because I'm having a good time with the swing trades at this point, but it could be just dumb luck because the markets just keep rising higher. So we shall see. We shall see. Where are we at right now? 1888. So we're still at the 1888. Fading off to the end of close. I really don't expect much to happen in the market between now and the end of business, because it is 2 days until Christmas Eve and 3 days until Christmas. Had some nice suggestions on movies for Christmas Eve. In fact, me and the fam will be watching Just Friends tonight. So that was a suggestion from one of my sweet new best friends in stocks, options, and dividends. Christmas Vacation on the docket. We did, in fact, we all usually get a vote, and then consensus, of course, wins. But last night we had a nice dinner out at Radius, which is a great restaurant downtown Valparaiso. I had some crazy concoction roast beef sandwich with French fries on it. It was amazing. With my brother, his family, my family, and my mother. And then afterwards, the Fab Five, we snuggled up into the basement and watched Violent Night. If you haven't watched Violent Night and you don't mind a little like almost comedy gore, it has the sheriff from Stranger Things as Santa. I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't ever need to watch it again, but kid 3, the 16-year-old boy, wanted to see it and has wanted to see it for a while. So we did watch that as a family last night. Let's look quick through here. USO. What do we got up here? 1 day, 1 minute. When I'm just watching it specifically, I like to watch the 1 day, 1 minute chart, so I can just keep an eye on things. RSI, MACD, things of that nature. Looking at this number here, green or red, what is it doing? Currently, USO at 68.74. I was thinking about selling some real conservative 66 puts, 66 strike puts for next Friday, because it annualized at like 21%. We'll see. I'll keep watching it. If we get a little bit more of a dip on the USO, I'll probably do that for sure. Emerging markets, I was watching that earlier. Where's it at now? It's at 39.37. What did I get out at? 39.41. So it hasn't moved much, and it really doesn't. So I got a little bored with it and moved on. Oh boy. Dang it. Oh wait. No, I'm sorry. That was a refresh. I got all excited because I saw a 202 handle, and I thought I missed it. We had the right idea, because we were trying to catch this right through here. That old V curve, the old V recovery, which it did. Right now, you see this red number I like to follow, 201.36, and it's at 201.67. That shows current trends. Now it's got a 201.41 green going on, and we've got, see the oversold here when in that red on the RSI. You got the dip down here on the MACD. Then you get the curl. When you see the curl and a little confirmation, then you can make, if you're making short-term trades, I definitely don't have any interest in being a day trader at all, but I'll make trades that go on during the day. That's kind of a contradiction. It really isn't. If I have to get in and out of in one day, I'll do it, but I'm not going to do that long term. TLT, we are looking for a pullback. We got it, but then it made a quick recovery. Bang, zoom, right back up here. So I was looking for more of a pullback. I still am looking for maybe 96 on the TLT before it then ultimately goes to 105, 110, 120 in that regard. So we'll be talking about that in the future. Silver, it's just been slow, like a yawner. So I did pull the risk off because I think we're going to find a better entry point. In fact, we could go right back in now and have a better entry than when we sold. But I'll probably look to possibly today sell some puts until through next week. So that's our thoughts there. That is our thoughts there. So thanks so much for tuning in. It is the last trading day until Christmas. So thanks for tuning in. I wish you and your family, you and yours, whatever you celebrate, I'll say happy holidays. I love to say Merry Christmas because we all should have our proud opportunity to celebrate what we celebrate. Let's support each and every one, and be on our merry way. Health, happiness, wealth, of course, freedom, all the good stuff that we're fighting for. Let's do it all together. Thanks for tuning in on this beautiful Expiration Friday. Like, subscribe, comment, share with a lovable friend. Enjoy your holiday weekend, and I'll see you on the other side.